listening to Culture on 209 FM.
What's up? It's your boy DJ Caution here on 209 FM, the global broadcast. We have a featured artist, the man, the myth, the legend from 209, Stockton, California. Remind from Style Elements Crew. What's up, my dude?
Yo, peace and blessings.
Man, you've been gone.
To be on your show and be part of this thing.
Yo, man, we really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and, giving us some love. But are you back in Stockton now in the 209?
Yeah, man, I had to come back. I mean, it was a calling, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it's time I come full circle in my life. And I left here when I was like 17.
Man, 17.
I haven't been back really to ever live, you know?
What?
I'm back, man. And
So
that's the vibe.
when you first left, it was kind of like a big, it was like a big deal because for all those that don't know who Remind is one of the foundational people in Stockton, California, as far as hip hop and dance, and just around the world. He's like one of the best dancers in the world. And he's come from our hometown, Stockton, California. And why don't you just tell him a little bit about yourself and where you're from originally, and just give him a little bit of bio about you and what your real name is.
Hey, well, I'll give you guys a little you know what I mean, into myself as in a Stockton native. You know what I mean? I'm born and raised up there in Little Manila, right there, downtown, and just got exposed to so much hip hop in the early '80s and '90s to that Stockton vibe. You know, really deep into it. You know, the whole culture, the whole cruising. And so, my family, I'm Filipino and Native American. My family settled out here from the Philippines. And, we're real deep out here, you know what I mean, with my family and culture and roots. And so I got exposed to just basically Stockton hip hop, and I did it full-heartedly, nonstop. And this is talking about 1982, 1983, 1984. I was only a little kid. I was only 6 years old when I started.
Wow. Would you first? What?
My cousin Junior, Alex.
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 I know Alex.
Breakmasters. That was our crew. Breakmasters.
Yeah, Breakmasters. I remember Breakmasters. What
Back in the day.
What was when did you first start seeing hip hop being done? Like, what was your influence?
That's what I'm saying. My cousins.
Okay.
I seen my cousins doing it, and then they took me to the movies, watch Beat Street Breaking. You know what I mean? We watched it at the drive-in over here. Past the fairgrounds. So, my first handspin was on a pizza box, at a drive-in, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
at a movie theater, you know what I'm saying? So, we're watching and doing it right then and there, you know what I mean? Any music video is fine, but I was so little that everything that my cousins did, I just tried to do,
Right. So let's talk about...
And they used to call me the speaker weapon.
A speaker weapon. That's right, the speaker weapon. All your aliases and shit.
The little kid.
But
yeah.
When you I wanted to let people know about the culture in the '90s when I first started DJing. You kind of were you were breaking in already, but I mean it was so. I mean I don't even know how to explain it to the youth here. I mean maybe you can do it for us and kind of educate them on what it was like for us when we were coming out.
Yeah, I mean, from me bearing witness to it, from, being born in 77, and then growing up in the 80s, the culture was just such a different culture, and I believe Stockton, as I look at it now, not knowing what we were going through, but seeing Stockton as a micro America,
Yeah.
In a sense as the diversity. I grew up in downtown Stockton. We were exposed to Laotians, Cambodians, blacks, whites, natives, Filipinos, Mexicans, Spanish, that was just downtown.
But
there was just a whole culture of people.
It wasn't even just
different races.
It wasn't even
everywhere.
just the culture. It was just but the talent the talent that was in our town, that's in our town, it's like, it's just so, it's so amazing, but not too many people know about that. I mean, now they're probably, now there's talent coming out.
Look at when I try to express it, it gets stuck all the time because you know what? It's so big.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If somebody was a part of that vibration back then, and this is before gangbanging.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is before Stockton became known as a gangbanging town, or it really got associated with that. This is before it, because we remember when it entered, there was always families and cliques and, you know what I mean?
Right.
That kind of, but I remember when gangbanging became popular, when it became popularized and then leak off over here, But I remember people were just normal people, you know what I mean? And people loved to dance. And before they were gangbanging, they were either pop block or breaking.
Right, pop blocking or breaking. Who?
And or graphing, or you know what I mean, MCing, or doing one of the elements of hip hop. When hip hop got introduced, it caught on like wildfire in Stockton.
Man,
like it was the thing. It was so easy to identify with hip hop as a people. So all of us were doing it. If people could understand, okay, check this out, generation. Let me school you on something in Stockton, okay? Back in the day, and I remember like in 84, you can drive down to the east side, to the west side, or the south side, and you can literally just drive down the street slow and find somebody with their garage door open, and people were breaking.
Yeah.
People were practicing, and people had their garage open, and they had their music beating, and we used to literally not know these people, and we used to go park our car in their neighborhood and go walk up to their garage and battle them in their own home.
Wow.
Like, that was normal.
Wow.
It's normal in the 80s as a B-boy if you were into breaking, because we were drive around and look for challenges. You know what I mean? Just like gangbanging, just like we would drive around looking for fights or rumble or something like that. It was different back then. It was breaking. And then after 85, it changed.
Yeah, it did. It did. Who were the influences for you? Who was the first person you saw from Stockton, or whoever that was just like mind, like this guy just is evolution? I kind of know the answer to that one, but I kind of want you to express that to who they are.
Well, the first person to blow mind, you know what I mean? Like, I already seen dope dancers. I always watching music videos and trying to watch like PMD's dancers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like all them dope New York dancers that got, that were early footage and stuff. I was always trying to be hip to the dopest dancers,
Yeah.
It didn't even matter what genre, because I even dig Baryshnikov. I think he's one of the greatest dancers, you know? And I got to see that in that old, in those movies, the Black Knight or whatever, White Knight or something. But Sammy Davis Jr. and the Nicholas Brothers. So media-wise, I was exposed to some geniuses, right?
Right.
But to actually see it, my own face and my own eyes, and have my mind blown, the first dancer to do that here was Walter Johnson and Rob Winfield.
Yeah.
I think it was I seen them both dance different times, but the first time I seen Walt, he blew my mind. The first time I seen Rob Winfield at a Edison rally, he blew my mind.
Yeah.
And the first time I seen Quality, he blew my mind. And then the first time I seen Thomas Cowell, he blew my mind.
Tom Slick.
First time I seen Lonnie, he blew my mind. So there's been a lot of people in Stockton who have blown my mind in a sense of just like, oh my God, like, is artistry that high? Like, you can reach that high of a level of being comfortable with the music and becoming an artwork, like living artwork, because when I will watch Walter dance, I mean, I still think he's best. That's just in my book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's because for those that
the dopest dancer to me.
I mean, dude, honestly, he's the dopest dancer I've ever seen, and that's just because when we were privileged and very lucky to even witness what that man did. And I'm talking about the footwork. I'm talking about the man's he's like 6'2", and it was flexible. I mean, he's mind blowing. He was mind blowing.
And powerful, And vocabulary was so ridiculous. Like if you played house music, the dude is house, and if you play breaking, and if you play popping, he's popping.
Man.
He can do. It was just incredible to see at that time. You know what I mean? That was like we got our own Steve Davis Jr. like and beyond. You know, because he's better than even him.
I mean, check this out. He put the staple on what moves are today. I mean, just to let the audience know, Walter Johnson took out D-Light's dancers when they came to the West Coast. It was 1 versus 2, just destroyed them at World Groove. I witnessed it with my own eyes. And Arist and a witness,
he did that so many times that so many people
embarrassed them really bad. And the man was he was a genius. Honestly, on the dance floor, he was a genius. Yeah, man was amazing. And I know it's a lot of like Thomas Caldwell, but
I got touched with that.
Thomas Caldwell. I mean, Thomas Caldwell.
Yep, Tom was on that level too.
Tom is dope.
Tom was on that level too.
Pop locking.
Because they were old school b-boys that never stopped dancing.
Yeah. Yes.
And Tom had flares. Tom had T-flares. I was like, dude was 6-something too.
Yeah. Like very agile, just big, nimble. They were blessed, man. And you know, and then when Derek, and then when I saw Derek was like unorthodox style. Like he reminded me of like Drunken Master style for some reason. You know?
Yeah, no, he had that. Oh my goodness, Quality. You know, Quality just. That's what I'm saying. Like when you get strokes of genius, phenomenal. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Phenomenal. Like if people only could fathom seeing people that crack your code, that break you out the matrix. Watching them is like taking the red pill. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You get broken out the matrix. Like they unlock something to make you think something's possible. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, if that's possible, then this is possible.
Right. So
you know, same thing when seeing B-Boy Ivan when he was at it. This is the guy who created the air flare.
The air flare.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to see him do things that were impossible, that already cracked your code, your limits. You're already hacking at your mentality. Like, oh, that's possible. So that's why I call myself Remind a lot, because I'm a reminder of all those 209 greats. That's because I embodied them.
That's what's up, man. I mean, Growers Hall was on Wilson Way, which is in Stockton, and then in Modesto, it was California Ballroom. California Ballroom. Those were really back then. Yeah. Those were the really two big halls. And Triangle Flavor, Kenny Crosby, and they used to throw those big functions. You know, and, hey, Kenny can groove. Kenny's an amazing groover. I mean,
he could fucking. That's what I mean. Like greatness, yo. Great.
And I'm not even talking about like, oh, they're okay. I'm talking about these guys can get down. I mean, so it's like,
yo, they just were so advanced, man.
Man, I mean, we were blessed.
Those guys are blessed, man.
So tell the audience, okay? So let's jump. Right when you get ready to leave Stockton, let the audience know how Style Elements became and give us like the history and how it developed.
Okay. Yeah, well, let me just let y'all know that, you know what I mean, I started really dancing hard again. Okay, I was explaining the breaking. Then we were breaking, right? And then gangbanging came in. And it became a thing. Mm-hmm. It became popular. It became how you got girls. It became how you know what I mean? Like when we were young. So we were gangbanging. We started gangbanging. We thought we were tough and we thought we could make a name for ourselves. Just like we wanted to make a name with Style Elements Crew, we wanted to make a name with our gang. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we started making a name. And we started getting into fights, rumbles, you know what I mean? The same thing. And we went on a negative path, and I started going to juvenile hall. I started getting locked up a lot. You know what I mean? I started going to getting incarcerated out here in Stockton. So I spent a large part of my teens after, you know, during that era being locked up, but still always keeping the essence of like, man, I always wanted to be an entertainer and dance. And you know, I just really wanted to be happy, you know,
right.
And spread happiness. So that's how I got out of Stockton is, man, you know, I just focused on dancing because if I saw myself staying in Stockton at that time, I saw myself getting in trouble.
Right.
Like a lot of us do. Get in trouble here in Stockton. It's very easy. You know what I mean? Because it's such a small circle, you know?
It's just what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah. And so, you know, how it came to be was cultivating those dance styles. Always looking, while I was getting in trouble, I was seeing people like Walter Johnson and Quality, and I was seeing their, Quality, yo, I got to give credit to Quality. He straightened me up, man. Quality helped straighten me up like a big brother.
That's what's up, man.
He saw me getting in trouble, going back and forth to juvenile hall. Remember when Quality worked at merry-go-round?
That's right. Yep. I used to work at Orange Julius,
what I'm
right?
saying?
Orange Julius, right there in Sherwood Mall. Was it Sherwood Mall, Weberstown Mall?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I used to go over there and walk all the way from the south side, you know what I mean, to go and just kick it with D and battle him, and he'll move the clothing racks
Yeah.
and teach me moves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Much love to Derek
And so
Fields.
I would
Much
go-
love to Derek Fields. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Big love to Derek Fields. And these guys did like what the YMCA should have done, like be big brothers and mentors. They really mentored me to be, you know, because all the time I was in the gang, man, I wanted to fight everyone all the time at a certain time, you know, thinking that's how you get a name and that's how you get attention. And Derek would be like, yo, Riston, calm down. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo.
calm down, man. Like,
Yes.
like this is dance. This is this. This is what we're doing.
Yo.
And so he got me out of trouble, you know, a lot of times.
Yeah. Most
And he picked me up, and people like Ken Crosby and Derek, literally, as I was a little kid, I'm talking about 12 years old, 13 years old, these brothers would pick me up and have me pass out flyers with them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's when he was
And so
Funk
I would go
Productions.
with
He
them,
was
and
Funk
they would drive me
Productions.
everywhere, and I'd pass out flyers, and so that's how I got linked into doing
Yeah.
anything positive.
That's what's up.
You know?
That's what's up. Funk Productions.
So
Wasn't it Funk
and
Productions?
That's how it built. It built from that. Kenny was throwing Triangle Flavor events, and Quality was throwing Stockton events.
Yeah.
Quality was throwing events at Growers Hall,
Growers Hall.
and Kenny was throwing events in California Ballroom.
Man.
So those two guys' events mentored me, you know, and then he hired you guys. You guys spin, you pause, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Smash.
Smash.
Like, man, we had dope DJs in our vicinity.
Yeah, we do. We
We
got,
had the dopest graph writers.
dude, I mean,
The flyers were so dope.
we had like Maison. We had, we had,
Zone and DVS.
DVS, oh, man.
just the whole feeling.
I mean, it was just, we had,
You know, and it brought back that vibe of Stockton, you know what I mean? So I grew in that environment. These brothers threw these events for a good 4 or 5 years, right?
yeah, about that. It was about 4 or 5 years.
Steady.
And then it seems like,
And
it seems
they
like
were
when
popping.
it seems like when around the time you and D left and everybody started leaving, that's when it kind of died off. And that's when, at least that's my opinion, you know, it kind of just changed a little bit.
No, but we left because they banned events. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
The city of Stockton had banned any hip-hop events.
Yeah,
It was over. We couldn't even throw events. They wouldn't give us no permits more.
Because they were getting shot
That's
up.
what happened to the industry.
Well, because it was getting shot up. Remember, all the
Yep.
growers' halls will either end them
We couldn't
bullet
get-
holes
yep.
all over the walls and stuff. It was just crazy. I remember those days.
They were stupid, yeah. They would always ruin our good time, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so then Stockton pulled the permits, no more events, and that was like around 92, 93. And then we were stuck here. You know what I'm saying? And so we just went into the garage and practiced our asses off.
Yeah, man.
And practiced and was just talking about how we're going to make breaking into the Olympics. How one day one day breaking is going to be highly respected. One day schools are going to stop arresting us for doing it and start, you know, commissioning us to do it. One day cities are going to get behind us and see that we can be a positive impact. And we just kept pushing that narrative. And then we would come in, like I would come in contact. Well, first of all, I started Style Elements Crew. I'm the creator, founder. You know what I mean? I'm pushing. So I'm meeting with like-minded people with that same idea that Quality had instilled in me. You know what I'm saying? To be mentored and mentor everyone who would hear that, man, we got something positive. We got something powerful in this hip hop culture and these elements. So let's do this. Let's push elements. Let's create a university worldwide. Let's go out there and let's teach.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
let's share. And then so that's how Style Elements got formed. You know what I'm saying? I met up with Ivan. I linked up with Ivan. Me and Ivan were the first members, but I was already dancing with Boogie T and Jaime and, you know what I'm saying? And Jesse Sanchez. And we had a group called PDA. You know what I'm saying? I was working with Triangle Flavor. Burnt Batch was there. We were students of the Burnt Batch and Head Rush, you know?
Right. Was there a like a round table, so to speak, like the founding members, like who were the core members of Style Elements?
The core members is me, Quality, And I could say Ivan, but Ivan never considered himself Style Elements. You know what I mean? He was always Universal B-Boy and stuff. He never wanted to be a part of the crew. But he was there during the creations, and he also battled with us. But he always looked at himself as an individual, and we respected it that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He told people other stories later, but that's what I know. And Crumbs. You know what I'm saying?
Modesto.
And those are kind of core members that are like at the root. You know what I mean?
Now, something Lady Eclectic wanted to know was, do you have any female B-girls on the team?
Oh, yes. We have 2 women on our crew, and we're looking to, you know what I'm saying, start that movement too. And they're Mary Poppins and Pandora. And go on the website, www.StyleElementsCrew.com, and you can see our roster of our members. Mm-hmm. And then you can personally YouTube each and every one are them girls and see what they're doing on their own also. They're phenomenal.
What do you...
phenomenal dancers.
No, so now that you know, I'm just kind of going on the timeline of the Style Elements history and your history. So you're this is jump out, like say 5 years, you're out of Stockton, and you guys got momentum. Yep. What has changed? What do you notice the hip hop in other countries? What's different from them versus the United States? I mean, are they lacking or they're not lacking? I mean, what was the culture shock for you?
Well, the culture shock is that how we literally are the freest nation in the world. Okay. You know, that's the culture shock is that literally we, as so-called Americans, you know what I'm saying, are citizens of this country in the United States. We have total freedom. And when you see other countries get it, you can see how they grab onto that American freedom and run with it.
Is that right? Okay.
Because their country is suppressed in a way that we can't understand because we never grew up there. Like, you could never understand how it is to grow up in Korea. You know what I'm saying? Like, their regime, as in a government, as in every male member has to go to the military for 4 years right out of high school. And so high school is just grooming that every male is a black belt in Taekwondo. Every male is regiment. And so sometimes traditions can become prisons. Wow. So they're so oppressed, and they have to all be this cookie cutter way that when you gave them b-boying and hip-hop, them motherfuckers took that shit to the max. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, bro. They grabbed that shit and was gone.
That gave them amnesty to get out of the military. Literally, it gives them amnesty to get out of the military. So if you're a b-boy and you represent the Korea country, you don't have to go to the military for those mandatory 4 years. So the government favors you and uses you as a representative of the country.
Oh, that's dope.
So see how governments will flip that? So that's what Korea does with a little bit of American freedom. America don't do that with our freedom.
No, they don't.
Do you know what I'm saying? But what France does with the freedom, what Germany does with the freedom, what Holland does with the freedom, with hip-hop freedom, the freedom that hip-hop has created, they run with it and they take it and they cherish it and they hold it like it's all they got. And here in America, we take it for such granted, the freedom that we have. Yeah. Of expression, the freedom we have of gathering, of communion, the freedoms that we have in those certain ways that have cultivated this freedom called hip hop worldwide, where it allows for China to be free, it allows for Korea to be free, Africa to be free, and when you practice hip hop culture, you're exercising your freedom.
That's
the things that I've seen.
Let's talk about the social distancing that we are experiencing in this culture today. How is that affecting hip hop and dancing, and just just Style Elements in general? What is changed? Like, what is that, or has anything changed for you guys in that sense?
Well, I see it as a good thing. I see it honestly as a blessing. I see all of this as a blessing because I know God is working His hands, and all things are in His will. And this would not be happening if it wasn't for His will. This is globally happening. This is more powerful than a politician wanting this to happen or a country wanting this to happen. This is happening globally. So you know God's got His hands on this. He's changing the world. He is telling our asses to calm down. Get out of the club. Sit your ass down. Meditate. You know what I mean? Quit socializing in these unhealthy environments where we're socializing and we're using them as coping mechanisms to numb ourselves, like gathering at clubs. It's good that no one could go to the club right now because the club has been overdone.
That's very
for
true.
its purpose. You know what I'm saying? These events and these competitions for dancers and entertainment has been overdone. The last Super Bowl show, when I watched Shakira and Beyonce or J-Lo shake their ass, that shit was disturbing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the only reason why it was disturbing to me, because it's just overdone.
And children watch.
You know what I'm saying? So I see how God's got his hands for everyone to calm down and receive your blessings. We got to stop celebrating. We're celebrating things that we shouldn't celebrate, basically. So when we get back to the root of all of this, when we get to have a gathering again, we're going to cherish it. We're going to understand what it's for. This is not just to get to goof off. When we gather, we should be in communion. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's going to put an emphasis on that more, because entertainment has gone mind-boggling. Entertainment has become a lobotomy almost.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in the sense of everything. I mean, like from my standpoint, DJing. I mean, everybody wants to be DJ, but it's like you can be DJ and do anything. And it's like, well, the thing about this is like, at least this is what I'm trying to or what I'm doing is. The mix by ear movement is basically for all the DJs that do Serato and all that sync shit, you know, turn that shit off, yo. And like, I don't want to hear all that, you know what I'm saying? Mix by ear, meaning like you mix by ear, you don't need a computer to do it. You can use the technology to maybe load it up, but mix by ear and do your digital digging.
Be a musician.
Yeah, digital dig too. Find tracks that no one else has, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's why, personally, man, we grow as artists, period. You know, we have our.
This is a good time to meditate and grow with our art.
You know,
when you ask me this time, like that's this time.
Musically, what are you listening to right now?
Man, you know what's the craziest thing is literally what I've been listening to, what's been in my tape deck. You know what I mean? Or it's been like Roy Orbison.
Roy Orbison, yeah, nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm listening to that date of music because that's when I could feel that. I'm like, whoa, the authenticity in that music is still could ring to this day. Like, could you expect a hip hop b-boy to say someone like Roy Orbison?
You know
You know what I'm saying? But that's how much I love music. I go and dig into elder music. I love elder music. So I go backwards. I haven't been going forward. I don't listen to no new music to this day.
What is
unless it's electronic house.
What is
you know what I'm saying? Unless it's new music. But I don't listen to nothing new. I don't know who the MCs are.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah, that's how
I'm still stuck in the 90s, or I'm going backwards from there because I feel like going backward is going more advanced. So I'm going to the old school music. I like that old school music, old school rock and roll.
What's your
old school? And then you know what? The funny thing is I've been going back to what I'm listening to a lot lately. It's been heavy metal from the 90s,
metal,
and the 80s.
You gotta listen to it. You gotta listen to all kinds of genres, you know, to get a to get a.
I love the guitar riffs.
But the one thing about Stockton is people don't understand, like it's rough around the edges, but it's a deep musical culture here, and artistically you have to appreciate it for what it is. And one of the things I do appreciate about it is, and this is going towards out to Ariston, is Ariston was the person that actually got to put, I guess, what do you want to say, the U.S. on the map for winning, what was the Battle of the Year, right?
Yep.
You were
and we won the Breaking World Federation here in L.A., too.
When did you win? So what, you guys
that was
won?
The first championship.
Well, no one's won the Battle of the Year from the U.S. since then, right?
Yep, no. We're the only ones.
Damn, so,
and they got mad at us because we won. You know what I'm saying? We changed the world. They didn't want to fight us no more. They're like, nah, they keep them out of here.
What year was that?
97.
Man, it's been. So are they that much doper than us? You 1 year, that's it? You're the only ones that.
No. It's all politics, bro. I tell you, they see the value in breaking them, but the United States doesn't. You know, that's our problem. We're manufacturers. You know what I'm saying? We manufacture things, and then we send it out to the world. But it's like we don't really take care of it. You know what I mean? Here,
well,
it's by distribution, and I think that just countries, because they're outside the U.S., they see the value in what we're doing. A lot of times, our country just way overlooks the value of what we're creating.
You know, Remind, I think right now is probably a good time to let some of the public know that you're considering having a show here on 209 FM, and reminds guys, will be a blessing that you even have him a part of it. But we're also going to be partaking in the Groove Sessions this Saturday, correct?
Yes, and anyone stop by, just listen to some good music and get activated. That's what it is. What it is too, man, is like you're a drummer, and you know how to activate the people, because like the last session I went to, man, that's straight activation, man. Like literally, I even though we were down the street from Growers Hall, it literally like took me back to Growers Hall.
Wow.
And in a set of energy, like I said, essence. And I see how we were all key people, man, holding the space, man. You drummers, you guys played a big deal, you know what I mean? Like, you guys were moving us.
Yeah, drumming.
You know what I mean? So I would love to always be involved. You had a good vibe, basically. I can groove to your vibe.
Yeah, so make sure...
and it would be an honor to work with the vibe.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, so for all those that are wondering, tune in to www.209fm.org Saturday at 6 o'clock. Listen to Groove Sessions. It'll be myself on the turns. Yeah. It's going to be off, and some of the greatest...
Atomic energy, we can activate all of these Stocktonians, yo.
Watch. I want to consider this a part one to our interview, because I think we have a lot more to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot more we need to discuss. But I also want to say thank you for your time. And, if you have any shouts out, let people know your social media, your classes you're teaching. Give them a little bit of what you're doing.
Hey, well, check this out. This is what I'm promoting. You know what I mean? Is I use these. I'm not really into this technology. I rather use this 209 FM and website and things like that. I'm not too much into these social medias. I kind of use them in reverse against themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, but IG is B-Star Remine 1977, and my real name on Facebook is Ariston Rapoila, and you can find me right there. And just link up with me, ask me any questions. I love to share. I'm very excited. And my main message right now is coming from the Most High. And this is why I want to, be on the show and want to be involved with these vibrations and frequencies that we're putting out to the whole planet, is to tell you that you are the highest technology ever made in the universe, that you are the most sophisticated, the most blessed, the most anointed. You have the body of God. God has given you the gift of his body. We are made in his likeness. So I want to inspire you to activate that God technology that is within you, that you have all access to it. And just how we see this technology nowadays, we are operating on such a higher level than that soon we will put these things down. We will put these phones down, and our be fully accessible, because we will all learn how to connect to the Ethernet, and that'll be the ethers, and we'll be connecting on that dimension. We're going higher, people. The vibration of the earth is raised. People, catch up, upload your new operating systems, download the newest upgrade, the latest upgrades from the Most High. This technology is a reflection of the Most High's technology. So value yourself and activate yourself in this time, because this is that time of high vibe. Activate yourself using the elements of hip-hop. Activate yourself with music. Activate your movement with dance. Activate your mind. Activate your knowledge. That's the message I want to spread to you today, and that's what I'm spreading out to the whole 209 vibe. And we are going to activate everyone in their 40s. I'm speaking specifically to right now to everyone in their 40s. Everyone in their mid 40s and their 50s, head into your 60s. It just begun.
That's right. That's what's up.
It just begun.
You know
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
It's done, y'all.
Yo.
We just started. I'm just ripe. Now what? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even ripe then. Now I'm ripe. Now what?
Just hitting your prime, huh? Just hitting your prime.
Essence is there.
You know what I'm saying? Well, remind...
yes, and I want to activate y'all. That's how I'm feeling. I know you're feeling like that. You look, Johnny. You look good.
Well, man. Hey, we appreciate you on 209 FM, man. Thank you for your time, and thank you for blessing us with, your message. And this is only part one, man. We're going to come back with another interview with you, and hopefully your show, too, is coming soon. So much love to you.
Let's do it. Let's do it soon.
That's what's up. Thank you for all you guys that tuned in. And until next time, Lady Eclectic.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
You're listening to Culture on 209 FM.